Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and welcome to another TU19 QnA Sunday, which is a every other weekly series where I answer your questions about the next big update for Minecraft Xbox and Minecraft PlayStation. So, what I use to do that is actually what 4J Studios, the developer, have publicly said, as well as what we can assume based on their previous update history. So, this week we're going to be answering questions from a couple weeks ago's video. However, if you want to ask questions for the next TU19 QnA Sunday, you can do so by tweeting at me, at IBX Toycat on Twitter, or you can tweet in general using the hashtag Toycat TU19 QnA. I'll put it on screen so you know what to do, and yeah, you can use either of those two things, and I'll be using all of my questions from that one next week. So if you want any questions that weren't answered in this one, please do check that out. And without further ado, let's get straight into the first question, which comes in from Combat Vizsla 4. Who asks, what is a realm? And that's a very good question. I know I throw around the term realms a lot, and honestly, if you have never heard of realms, which on the console is not surprising, that might sound confusing. So basically, Minecraft Realms is a service introduced by Mojang in the last year or so, and what it basically intends to do is sort of replace servers for like personal use. So basically, if you want to do crazy minigame with 2,000 people, this isn't what Realms is for. Realms is for if you want to just have 8 people on a server, you just want to all play together, and you don't want to have it based on one person's PC always being on, or one person's console always being on. So basically with Realms, I think the limit is 10 players. What you can do is you can set up a world that anyone that you allow in there can come in, and you can all play together. So for instance, if you have 9 friends, you want to all play together and have a survival world you're all pitching in for. So this is really handy because it means that if not one of you wants to leave your stuff on all night just so everyone else can play, you can still play together all the time. It's never like, oh, someone's not on, we can't play. And it's also really cool because you can actually upload worlds, at least on the PC, to people on there, and I imagine on the console something like that could be done. So anyone who's whitelisted, you could allow them to upload their world, and you could start there. I think it'd be a really cool option. I think it's a little expensive for what it is. It's just kind of multiplayer, but in the cloud. But if you want to do that sort of stuff, it's definitely something worth checking out. I think I'll pay for it for a few months just to give it a try, and maybe we'll try something with subscribers. So that's what a realm is. It's a server that you pay Mojang for monthly, and they allow people on off your choosing. So it's quite a nice feature. So moving on to the second question, which comes in from White Raven. It's not really a question, but he says, I like how you can answer the questions with all your knowledge about the gossip in the community and developers and speculations. Great entertainment. So basically, he's kind of addressing a lot of the questions that a lot of people have. They're like, so Toycat, what knowledge do you have to say this? If it's not confirmed, why do I want to hear it? So this series isn't meant to be all 100% confirmed information, but if there's something which is a grey area, for instance, command blocks, like, does anyone know of command blocks coming? They should be, but they probably aren't. That's the sort of stuff I can help you out with. Or for instance, because I've been around for so long, I've seen how their updates have gone from really fast to slightly slower to really slow to maybe speeding up again, whereas anyone who just looks at it right now are like, oh, it's been 8 months since the last update. And yeah, it's that sort of stuff that hopefully my insight is useful to you, and if not, you can hopefully learn about some of the new stuff. Like with Realms there, if you didn't know what Realms was, hopefully you learned. So that's what's going on with this whole series, that's why I do this thing, and yeah, hopefully that helps you for the future. So, hopefully everyone knows that one now, and let's move on to the next question from Simbat Wolfnose, who asks, will there be any new structures like a dungeon and stuff like that? Thanks, you're the best. Thank you, by the way. Will there be any new structures? So it's not going to be anything massive, like we had Desert Temple's last update, but there is one structure confirmed, which is the Witch's Hut. So it's a very rare thing, and I don't know if they'll increase the rarity on console, so that might be cool. But basically, it's a place where you can almost guaranteedly find witches. If not, you get a free brewing stand, and they're kind of a cool feature. I've done a feature preview on them if you want to check that out. But basically, we don't get anything massive, because we've already got most of the structures PC has, and the next new structure I think will be underwater temples. So right now we get one structure, but it's still a kind of cool one because witches are cool. So only one new structure in the next update. Moving on to the next question, which comes in from at Tom1Harper on Twitter, who asks, hi, this may sound newbie, but do you think there'll ever be mods and or mini games on the console version? By the way, love your vids. So there will never be mods directly. I mean, with a console, modding is really discouraged because, the manufacturer, Microsoft, Sony, they're not really a big fan of people going in changing the code for the games. I think the reason is because it's like, well, you could hack multiplayer games. If you release mods, then you won't buy DLC and that sort of stuff, or maybe it's just keeping it a closed platform. But yeah, mods in the form you expect them on PC will never be on the console. However, we might get some form of DLC like that, and once command blocks eventually come to the console, which might not be an immediate thing, it might be a way down the line thing, or it might not be another thing, but if command blocks do come to the console, which they do look kind of likely to be, they add a lot of functionality to the game, because even just moving the game, forward some time, or switching the game mode, if you go into an arena and stuff, you can do loads of cool stuff with just, command blocks alone. So you can basically make your own minigames with that, and as far as, minigames in the console version, as well, right now, you can already make some. Like, I've made loads of Skywars maps, which you technically shouldn't be able to do, and that sort of stuff. There is plenty of minigames on the console right now. It's just a matter of refining them and making them something more people can actually play. That's all it's about. So, yeah, that's minigames. They're currently in the game, but not properly, and mods, probably, no, never. So, next question comes in from Son of Gaming, who asks, #QnA. Hey, Toycat, I hear rumors that Wither Skeletons might not be coming in the next update. Do you think they're coming? They are so confirmed to be coming, so not only were they in their own screenshot, which, like, the screenshot of all the, other stuff in the Nether, so yeah, they've been directly seen in a screenshot from 4J Studios, but also the Wither's been shown, so without that, there wouldn't really be a Wither, and the Beacon, which requires the Wither. So, yeah, they're so very confirmed. Don't worry, Wither Skeleton's definitely coming. We're going to be able to fight the Wither. It might be a messy experience, but the Wither Skeletons are coming. Don't worry about it. So that's a nice short question. Let's move on to the next one, which comes in from Harry James, who asks, do you think there'll be bounce pads or slime box or armor stands? And unfortunately, I'm going to say no to all of those, because they're all 1.8 features. And although they're really cool 1.8 features, I think they're mainly focusing on all the big features from 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6, and then they're going to maybe get a 1.7 feature if it's convenient, but they're not going to add a massive 1.7 or 1.8 feature, because, that starts to messy the title updates. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm very, very sure we won't see any of those things, or at the very least, we won't see all three. So, it's very unlikely, unfortunately. I hate being able to say that, but I'm afraid it's probably the truth. So, moving on to the next question, which comes in from Bedtime Gaming, who asks, Q&A, will there be a skin/texture pack for Xmas? PS, your videos are awesome. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate it, you guys. You don't have to say that to get a question, but I appreciate it anyway. But will there be a skin/texture pack? So there was a Christmas skin pack 2 years ago, and it was a really cool thing. I used it for a little bit before there were cat skins. Of course, now I just use cat skins only. But yeah, I really like the Christmas skin pack. I think they'll probably re-release it this year. I imagine that if there isn't an update coming this Christmas, which I don't think is likely. Like, this next update, I don't think it'll be coming just for Christmas, but I'm holding out hope, because last year, or at least the year before that, they just surprised us with an update like a few days before Christmas, and I'm crossing my fingers for that, even though I know it's unlikely. But if they don't do that, if there isn't an update before Christmas, I imagine there'll probably be a Christmas mashup pack, maybe a Christmas texture pack. I mean, we already have the we already have the Halloween texture pack, so I think a Christmas mashup pack would be a really, really cool and nice thing. But that's just me personally, because they already have the skins for it, but maybe instead of that, they'll just do nothing and they'll keep working until update 19. So, I'd like to see a Christmas skin pack, a Christmas mashup pack. If not, they'll probably just release the Christmas skin pack, which, it's not a bad thing. It's a cool skin pack. I definitely recommend you guys buy it if it does come out, because it's one of those skin packs that's actually nice, and if you like skin packs, then it's worth buying, So next question comes in from Jojo Lordy, who asks, #Q&A, will it always be that your TV is HD to do multiple gameplay on the same console? So, if you're wondering what is being questioned there, basically right now you need a HD TV to do split screen on both the 360 and the PS3 as far as I'm aware, and the reasoning for that is because there just isn't enough pixels in like a 360p or a 480p TV to do otherwise, because think about how small they've got to be otherwise, and it could probably work, but for some reason they limited it to HD. They're probably never going to fix that, because it becomes less of an issue over time. Like, no one's going to plug in their CRT like 40-inch massively backed monitor back in these days. It's probably going to become less of an issue, so unfortunately they probably won't fix that, and just plug it into a HD monitor / TV if you have one in the house, because it's probably not going to be an issue that actually they get fixed, because it'll fix itself as less people have non-HD screens. So unfortunately there probably won't ever be a fix for that. So the next question comes in from Nicole Barton, who asks, #Q&A, will we ever be able to change the game mode in-game, say from creative to survival, without quitting? So I really think this should be added as a host option. I think we've got a decent chance, not 100% chance of course, but we've got a decent chance of either seeing command blocks, which allow us to do the same thing, or giving us the option in the menus to do it instead, because it's kind of a similar thing. So I really want to see this. It's kind of important for a lot of people, but we'll have to wait and see. So not confirmed, not confirmed, somewhere in that awkward place in between where it makes sense, but we don't still know yet. So the final question, the very final question, comes in from Adam Harris, who asks, because we have some features from 1.4 anyway, like carrots, do you think we'll get any from 1.7/1.8? If so, what do you think they will be, and what do you hope they will be? Love your vids. So first of all, yeah, we do have some features from 1.4 already. We have some from 1.5 and 1.6. So, for instance, we have anvils from 1.4, we have nether quartz from 1.5. We have a lot of features from future updates. However, what I will then follow on to say is they're mainly small things. Like, I think anvils, carrots, and like nether quartz the exception. But we have like the enchantment system from 1.3 before 1.3, and I imagine that's most of what the next update features will be if they're not. So, for instance, in 1.8, the daylight sensor was allowed to turn into night mode. I imagine we'll get that sort of thing, like just small changes to stuff that they're going to have to change later anyway. However, I don't think we're getting any massive 1.8 features, so we probably won't get bunnies, we probably won't get guardians, and we also probably won't get biomes. However, what I think we'll get, I have this little bit of hope that comes from no real source, so don't, quote me on this, but I really think we'll get stained glass, because although it's a 1.7 feature, it's quite an easy one to add, and it adds so much creativity to the game, because, with the stained clay already, you make stained glass in there, and you can make some really cool builds, and it's like a genuine update for everyone at that point, because you've got your wither, if you want to just do survival all the way. If you want to do creative, or just, survival making pretty things, you've got your stained clay and stuff, and then for everything else, there's horses. Yeah, I really think stained clay would be coming, and if I could just magically make something in the game, I'd wish for the new biomes. I really love the new biomes, but I'm so sure they're not coming because of just how much work they are. So, I think that the stained glass is coming, but with no base, and I hope that new biomes are coming, even though I know they aren't. So, I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. If you did, please do like the video and let me know. Tweet at me if you have any questions for next week's one, or use the hashtag TU19 QnA. Again, it's on screen at the start of the video somewhere. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.